Hello there, and I want to welcome you to a very special session. And this one is about money earning opportunities. And ideally, what my intention of this session is to open up your consciousness to knowing that there are so many money earning opportunities in the world. As a matter of fact, if you go to a search engine and you type in money earning opportunities, you will find all kinds of them. But I really believe that you find or discover money earning opportunities when you're in a wealth consciousness, when you've already made the decision, when you've set goals, clear goals, and you have set the intentions that you're going to turn your financial situation around. The way that we are compensated in this world is by bringing something of value. Now, there are other ways of earning money. You can actually have your money working for you, which means investment strategies. Is that a money earning opportunity? Absolutely. Very few people do it because very few people have the wealth in order to accomplish this. But I suspect if you're here in the Money Marathon, what you're really looking to do is improve your financial situation, perhaps attract the abundance that you've been desiring for a while, for a long time, perhaps, and have you earn the kind of money that you'd absolutely earn. But I do want you to know that money isn't always attracted just based on earnings. I remember one time a woman sent me an email and she said, "How come you're always talking about earning money?" And you see, people will only hear and only see what their paradigms are aligned with. I don't only talk about earning money, I talk about attracting money. But in her mind, her paradigm is set that the only way to have money is by earning it. But that's not true. There's many other ways that you can attract money into your life where you're not necessarily exchanging a dollar for an hour. As a matter of fact, the wealthiest people on this planet are not doing that. It's the way most people earn their income. It's the way most people are working today, is an exchange of a dollar for an hour. And it's not that there's something wrong with that. But if you're really looking for exponential returns, if you're really looking for wealth creation, that is not the way to do it. I am not saying give up your day job. That is not what I'm saying. I started my business when I had a job, when I was employed by someone else. I started it part-time, and I only released the full-time job when I had my business generating revenue. So when I incorporated my company, I was actually a single mother with a young son, a little toddler. So I was definitely inspired into action because my only desire was to do something that I loved, to provide great value, and to be experiencing success as a single mom. So that's how I really started. But where did that come from? It came from a desire. Everything that we've been covering off in this money paradigm is designed to condition you, to have you thinking as the wealthy person that you would love to be, to have you in your consciousness as that person, thinking, feeling, acting, doing behaviors, habits that are only in alignment with what you want. It really is a complete reconditioning of who you are. So remember this. You decide what you want. We talked about that in the goals session. You wrote out a number of goals. Now, what I suggest you also do is have one goal that you're focused on, one main goal. And if it's a money goal, which mine is, that's great. You have it written out as if it's here now. I am so happy and so grateful now that, and you write out that goal. I shared mine with you in another session. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm easily earning X amount of money in personal annual income while serving others in only positive ways, and I am having fun. And then once you've done that, then you think, you feel, and you act like the person you desire to be. You already know in your heart that's who you are. You see it, you feel it, you live it. You feel as if, and this is all going on inside you, inside your consciousness, you're feeling as if you already have the wealth, the riches, the money that you desire in your life right now. Not some other time, but right now. And remembering, you do not have to know how. You don't have to know how you're going to accomplish this. You do not have to know how you're going to attract that money into your life. You just have to. Your responsibility is you must feel like it's already here now. I've said it before. Now, when you're feeling that, when you're in that energy of feeling as if you're already there, this is when ideas come to you. This is when, and you're going to know, your intuition is going to be, bam, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then you follow through. So when you're in this consciousness of feeling as if you're that wealthy person or that abundantly rich or whatever words you want to use, then you start getting ideas. So when I incorporated my business, the business, everyone who goes into business is in business to create a profit, right? It could be because you're doing work that you love. It could be because you're following your passion. It could be because you felt there was a need for something and you decided to create that, manifest that. But this is where you get the ideas. And what's most important is that you follow through as well. So there's no greater time than right now. I really believe anytime anyone can be earning money. I remember one time my husband and I lived in a beautiful home, and a gentleman who was probably in his 50s at the time had showed up on our home riding a bicycle carrying a squeegee. And he came to our door and he said, "I'd like to clean your windows, and I'm going to charge you this amount of money, but you have to pay me in cash." And it was a really good deal to have all of our windows cleaned. We had a lot of windows in this home. And so he said, "I just need to use your pail and your ladder and your hose and your water." It's like, okay. And so he did that and he earned money. And I watched him a little bit later. I could see he had gone over to the neighbor's house and he did theirs. Then he went down the street. And later on, I left to go out to pick up some groceries. And I noticed he was down the street doing another neighbor's home. Now, he had charged us $80 cash to clean our windows. And I know there are other services that would have charged multiplied versions of that. It took him about an hour or so. He cleaned the outside of the windows and he earned $80 cash. Then he went to the next house, earned some more, a next house. Now this guy, I don't know whether he, didn't have a car or couldn't afford a car, or why he was an elderly man on a bicycle. I don't know. But the truth is anyone can be earning money at any time. Now, was he exchanging dollar for hour? Yes, but he was earning money, and there's good things in that, right? But nowadays, if you look at the internet as an example, which is how you and I are communicating right now, regardless of where you are in the world, regardless of where I am in the world, I can still serve people. Well, anyone can do that. In 1995, I established my website online. I've been coaching and mentoring business people for years on how to build a successful business online or offline. And the business of online services, programs, products, etc., one of the top things that's sold online is information. Everybody has information. It's like, I remember hearing Bob Proctor say, everyone has a book in them. I have 19 books that I've released. Every one of them has produced revenue. Some of them more than others, some of them significant revenue. But anyone can write a book. I've worked with people as young as 5 years of age that have written books. I've worked with people who are in their 90s doing books. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, you can certainly tap in to a market that is producing phenomenal results. And really what my intention is for this particular session is have you open up your consciousness to money earning opportunities, to the many ways. I'm not going to go over them all here. You can do your own search on a search line, but I just want you to know that when you are really truly feeling and you're feeling that alignment to your goal, you're going to find the ideas. They're going to boom, come to you. They may come to you while you're in the shower. They might come to you in the next 5 minutes. They may come to you next Tuesday, whatever it is, you're definitely going to get inspired with the ideas. Now, usually money earning ideas start with a desire. And sometimes that desire is just to make a difference in the world. Sometimes that desire is to make a difference in the person's own life. Sometimes that desire is to turn your financial situation around. Sometimes that desire is for one particular person or one particular thing. But either, doesn't matter, it comes from desire. And quite often it is encompassed with passion. Like, I love personal development. Why? Because it changed my life in every part of my life, and I now live a completely fulfilling, charmed life. Now, that would have never happened if I hadn't studied personal development and understood it and applied it in my life. So now I love helping other people. But I incorporated a business many, many years ago. I've created numerous programs, and all of that came from taking action. So I hope you're understanding at this point, after several other sessions, that creating wealth in anyone's life is not a complicated thing. It's also an opportunity for anybody, anywhere. It doesn't matter who you are. Like if you've got the ability to understand and you're willing to implement, you're going to find a way. You will absolutely find a way. One of the books that I wrote is a book called Be a Dog with a Bone. And the reason why I wrote that is because I believe that when you're pursuing your dreams, you got to hold on tight. Hold on tight to that dream. Don't let anyone take it away from you, and certainly don't drop it yourself. Now, will you feel disillusioned? Will you feel like you're maybe not on track? Will you feel challenged? Sure, everybody does. You know, the road to success is not just an easy street, clearly paved, directions all along the way. It's challenging, and it can be challenging, and you got to be flexible. I often tell people that's my middle name, Peggy Flexible McCall. You've got to be very flexible. You got to be willing to do whatever it takes. You got to get on with the work, and you got to understand it's not going to be perfect along the way. You're going to have to understand that you're going to go through some challenges. However, when you're persistent, when you decide you're never giving up, you're going to find that you will be one of the few people that reaps the rewards. So what do you do to experience these ideas that are going to pop into your consciousness? Well, with your desires, you feel as if they're here now, and then you're getting inspired. So you got to be open. You got to be open-minded. And as Napoleon Hill said, open-mindedness is essential for success. And open-mindedness is not something that you, like a store only opens for a few hours. You remain open-minded. You remain open-minded to how you will serve the world. And we're going to be talking another session about the law of compensation, which really blends in nicely with what we're talking about here too, because we're compensated based on bringing value to the world. Whether it seems like a silly idea or whether it doesn't seem like a silly idea, nonetheless, that's how you're compensated. Number of years ago, I created a program and co-delivered it with my wonderful mentor and friend, Bob Proctor. And we also had Mary Morrissey and Gay Hendricks involved. And we called this program Making a Million Look Small. Because the truth is, a million is neither big nor small, only thinking makes it so. It's a law of relativity. Do you think it's big? Well, how's that going to feel? But if you think it's small, you know, $1 million today is relatively small compared to what it was many, many years ago. But there are countless stories of people who came from impoverished situations to create massive fortunes. We could sit here all day long while I share those stories. People that came to different countries, you know, with 10 cents in their pocket, or people that were children and established million-dollar, multi-million-dollar empires, people that were in their 60s who started a brand new career. I mean, we could go on about this all day long. But what a lot of people do is they stay in their paradigms, they stay in their negative thinking, their destructive thinking, and they only think about, well, you know, I can't do it, or they can't be done. And that's why we talked earlier in this program about the importance of changing your paradigms. So there are some common characteristics of successful people, of people that have created wealth. And those characteristics we've been covering off. They have goals. They've set their goals. They watch their language. They speak the language of success. They understand that they're going to come up against adversity. They recognize that when they're in their own way and choose to get out of their own way, they're constantly taking action toward their goals. And they're staying focused on their desires, regardless of what shows up. They're recognizing the opportunities in every challenge. All right, those are all common characteristics. They're disciplined for success. Very important part of this as well. So common characteristics that aren't so common out there in the world, but you're here. You're in the money marathon. You chose to be here for a reason. And I'm walking you through and guiding you through this process. So it's important that you understand all of this. There are enormous opportunities out there today, every day, that are just waiting for you to tap in. Now, I love this quote by George Bernard Shaw. He said, people are anxious or always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are people who get up, look at the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, they make them. Now, that may even sound like they're ignoring what the reality is. I'm not saying you ignore your responsibilities. I would never say that. Take care of your responsibilities. But when your desire for something different, you must do something different. You must be something different. You must think differently. You must feel differently. And you've got to do it today and every day. This is where the discipline comes in. You condition yourself for success. You put yourself on that trajectory for success that there's no other way for you to experience in your life other than success, other than greater good. Because you know something? You deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. So that's a wrap for this session. And I'm going to see you in the next session of the Money Marathon.